Welcome back. Today we are going to be drilling into porcelain. And I know a lot of you have been waiting. You've wanted to make tidbit trays. You've wanted to drill into vases to turn them into lamps. Well, today is the first day of our sort of skills acquisition program to get us ready to do that. So, porcelain today. We got the drill. We're ready to go. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so let's talk about what we need to drill porcelain. First thing is we need a drill. Does it have to be this big? No. We are using a drill this big today. In a future video, I want to show you how to do that with the Dremel because it's a much smaller tool, goes at much higher speeds, makes the job a lot quicker, but there are some differences in how you use them. So today, big drill. This is, by the way, a variable speed drill. That's the low speed. That's the high speed. So let me put it back on low because that's where we're going to start. We also need this. Now this is a package of glass and tile cutting bits that I got at Walmart. I specifically wanted to get this somewhere that was readily accessible to everyone and cheap. Now ordinarily I would be using diamond drill bits for this. It is the better way to do it, but this will do it just fine. And if you're only going to do this occasionally, this is good enough. If you want to make a career of creating your own tidbit trays, or if you want to go into business as a glass or tile cutter, these are not the bits you're going to be using. As many of you know, it's just a cute little household hint, you can sharpen your knives on the rough edge of a porcelain coffee mug. So imagine what drilling through porcelain is going to do to this bit. Tile and glass cutting bits have a limited shelf life. You are not going to be able to use this to cut through 3 or 4 dozen plates and still have it work at the end of the day. So having said that, we're going to proceed. We have a plate. We have a drill. We have our bit. This is, let me just see which one this is. This is a 5/16 inch bit. I took the largest one. We have a piece of paper, a pencil, water, and a very ratty, very raggedy, look, there's even a hole in it, towel. And I'll show you what we need the towel for and why we're not using the good ones. To start drilling, first thing we need to do is find the center of our plate. Now, anyone who's ever taken geometry in high school knows there are a lot of very complicated ways to find the center of your plate. But we are going to do this old school. We are going to drop our plate onto a piece of paper. We're going to take a pencil. We are going to trace the outline of our plate. I don't know if you can see this, but I've got a lovely little circle on my paper. Next, this is painter's tape. Any tape with a rough finish on the unsticky side will do. We're just going to stick that in the middle of our plate. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me cut that out. Any child can cut things out, and it's going to be boring for you, and it's going to be very embarrassing for me if I screw up on something I just said any child could do. So I've already got my little circle. You cut it out, you fold it in half. Now perhaps you noticed my plate is not perfectly round. That's why this old school trick works well. If you have a plate or a vase bottom or whatever that is not perfectly round, this one will work fine. So you fold it in half, you fold it in half again until you make a little quarter. And then take a pair of scissors and just cut through the corner. Cut through your corner. You've got a little hole in it, see? Now we take this template and we drop it right on the top of our plate, and we take our Sharpie and we make a mark right in the center. Is that there? Yes, it is. I really can't see that, but it is there, trust me. Now, the reason I put the tape on is because this bit, and I'm sure you can see, it comes to a point like any drill bit. If that bit doesn't have something to grab onto, it's likely to go skittering across the plate, and we don't want that. We want it to stay right on our mark, and the tape will help do that. Now, there are a few other tricks. Usually, when I do this, I take my Dremel with a grinding bit because I can hold my Dremel very much like a pencil, and I just grind a bit of the top glaze off. It's all you have to do to make sure you're not skittering all over the place. But I don't know if all of you have Dremels. I know if you're looking to drill through porcelain plates that you either have a drill or plan to get one. So that's how we're going to start with this. This is my roll of priority mail tape, free from the post office. Post office gives you all kinds of neat free stuff. You can use them for all kinds of purposes. So let's get creative. I'm quite certain the post office would not approve of this, so don't tattle on me. All right, now actually here, let me just pop this on top of my ratty towel. The towel is going to keep my roll of postal tape from moving. I am placing my plate on top of my roll of postal tape, and nice big hole in it. It's going to support my plate while still making sure that I'm not drilling directly into my table. The table I'm working on, by the way, scruffy though it may be, is actually my kitchen table. But I do all kinds of work on it. So if anybody's actually going to eat at this table, I have to throw a cloth over it because, my goodness, is it a mess. But I don't think there's any excuse for making it more of a mess by drilling holes in it. Now, this is a safety precaution. I am going to take the towel, my hand's here, here's the towel, and I'm going to hold it like this. If the plate shatters, this will protect me from tearing up my hand on broken shards of porcelain. I do not believe the plate is going to shatter. I don't think this is a very serious danger. Nevertheless, be safety conscious first. Always use a towel. There are enough veins in your hand so that if you did a good enough job, you could just bleed to death. And we'd rather not have that happen. Not today, anyway. Okay, drill is back on the slowest speed. I am going to hold this and I am going to position my drill, there we go, right on top of my little mark, and I'm going to start my hole. Now, I'm not pushing down on this. Okay, that's as much drilling as I'm going to make you watch me do. See that white stuff? That is the glaze and the porcelain. I broke through the glaze, got down into the porcelain, and this little white mess is the porcelain dust. So I can take the tape off if I want. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it there. But what I am going to do is I am going to stop filming for a bit and drill this through. And the reason I'm going to do that is because you're not going to be able to hear me over the drill to begin with. And for you, this is like watching paint dry, watching somebody just sit here and drill. But maybe you notice this. This is a bottle of water. This is, in fact, the bottle of water I use when I'm ironing clothes and I want to spritz them. It's that simple. When you are drilling into porcelain, the drill bit can get hot. The porcelain can get hot. When you're working with two people, you hand one the bottle and have them just spray right there, just to keep the drill bit and the porcelain cool. The reason for this is because theoretically your plate could get hot enough to crack, but that's really not what it is. It prolongs the life of your bit, and as I said, they have a limited life to begin with, and you want to be able to get through your project and maybe do a couple more. So I realized the $8 drill bits were not overwhelmingly expensive, but why should we be throwing $8 in the trash if we don't need to? So we're going to make sure it stays cool. I've got my bottle of water nearby. I will occasionally spritz. Another thing you can do is stop. Drill in short bursts and stop. Give everything a chance to cool down. Go back to it again. Now, as I said before, I am not pushing this. When I hold this, I am not pushing it down. I'm holding it up. The drill is doing the work. If I push on this, I will break the plate. No question about that. I am just letting the drill through. So when I come back, we will have a drilled plate. Or maybe I'll come back before it's fully drilled. I'm coming back at a point where it's not too boring for you to watch me. Let me put it that way. All right. Okay, we're back. Our plate is drilled through. I saved you the boredom of watching me drill through a plate, and of course the headache that would have come from the noise of that drill. Here's our hole. Now, let me show you the other plates that are going with this. A nice reticulated plate. Same general color family, yellows and pinks, and a little Bavarian china plate. This one is yellows, pinks, and oranges. It's a little brighter than the rest. Now, when I was drilling this plate out, it probably took me about 3 minutes, maybe less. Same with this one. These are porcelain, but they were fired at a normal high temperature. Porcelain is fired at a high temperature. They were fired at a normal high temperature. This little Bavarian plate was probably fired at a super high temperature because it took me at least twice as long to drill this out, and I had to go in with my Dremel to clean out that hole. So I would say about 6 minutes worth of drilling and maybe another 4 or 5 minutes worth of cleaning it out with a grinding bit on my Dremel. A lesson learned here: let's not use Bavarian china plates for our tidbit trays. Let's just stick with normal porcelain. Now, I chose these plates because I thought they would look nice together. Shades of yellows and sort of a pinky peachy. It just happened to be something I thought was attractive. So now we have our tidbit tray hardware. It basically consists of 3 pieces because we are doing a 3-tiered tray. I would suggest, if you're going to get tidbit tray hardware, get it in 3 pieces, even if you're only going to use 2 of them, and make a 2-tiered tray, because it always gives you the option of changing your mind. I think I got a set of 10 of these on eBay because I somehow got it into my head I'd be making a lot of tidbit trays, and we all know I'm a closet hoarder anyway, okay? But it's not hoarding if you keep it in a pretty box. I'll find a pretty box somewhere for these. Actually, the truth is, I'll probably use them because one of our viewers had written in to show me pictures of something he did with tidbit tray hardware and cup and saucers, a cup 2 saucers. And I have some of my own ideas about what we're going to do with porcelain and our tidbit trays, and we'll follow up on this. Meantime, let's put this together. Now, we have a screw. It's a flathead screw. We have a metal washer. This metal washer goes over the flathead screw, and this is to ensure that our screw, here, very small here, doesn't go sidling up into our plate where it doesn't belong. And then we have a little plastic washer that goes over top, and that is to protect our plate from rubbing directly against the metal. When we put our screw through, we drop another washer on top of it. Take one of, yeah, that would be lovely if I just dropped something on this and broke it after all that work. Just screw this on. And this is standing a little high. Just going a little proud of this. So when I am through with this, I am actually going to put some felt feet on the bottom of this so that doesn't happen. All right, that's our first layer. This is our second. I like reticulated plates for tidbit trays. I think it gives them a lot of visual interest, and given the fact that I was able to find a nice reticulated plate, I actually started the project working from the reticulated plate out. In other words, that was the first one I started with, and then looked for plates that would go well with it. So we drop that in, a washer on either side. Remember, these plastic washers go right up against the porcelain. We've got another little plastic washer here. We've got our top plate, another washer, and I have an extra washer. I thought maybe I was missing one, but I'm not. I have one extra. That's going to go in my pretty little box with the rest of my tidbit tray hardware. Okay, here we go. This tidbit tray, I think, is going to be giveaway. So, if you like the tray, remember, pinks and yellows, that's our basic color scheme. Just write in the comments, give me that tidbit tray. we'll ship this out to someone. And as I say, I will put some feet on this because that screw is raising, and the screw's raised a little above the rim on the bottom of this plate. So a couple of felt feet on the bottom will resolve that. Now, before I let you go and get on with your lives, I know you have lives. Let's take a look at this. This was from last week. Perhaps if you picture this covered in copper-colored paint or possibly oven cleaner, you'll recognize it. This is how it came out. It took me a total of 3 separate coatings in the oven cleaner, and that's because, if you'll recall, I laid it down flat because, as you can see when you look at this piece on an angle, it is a pretty flat piece. Laid it down flat. I did the top side, cleaned that off, did the bottom side, and then a 3rd coat just to get some of the little scraps of paint out of the crevices. I would have to say oven cleaning paint removal is definitely a thing. I would certainly recommend this to anyone. Boy, the fumes were bad. And if I hadn't been filming it, I certainly would have done it outdoors. But quick, easy, no scrubbing, no scraping, no nothing. It just literally washed right off. I couldn't believe that. Now, that brings up another point. A lot of you have been sending in tips, and they're just sitting in the comments section, and maybe some people are reading them, maybe they're not. Oven cleaner paint removal was a tip from one of the viewers over on the Crazy Lamp Lady, and we were able to put it to use. So I say we start taking a look at your cleaning hacks. If you've got an interesting little cleaning hack, write into the comments, and we'll start sharing them, and other people will be able to take advantage of them. This one, wow, it was worth its weight in gold, because it made what would have been a difficult job with a lot of toxic chemicals. Well, I mean, the oven cleaner was pretty toxic too, so. But less toxic than some of the stuff I was thinking about using. Made it very quick and easy. So if you have a cleaning tip, let me tell you one of mine. We'll just get you started. If you want to get blood out of sheets, towels, etc., yeah, I know, I wouldn't know how to get blood out. It won't hold up to luminol, but it will get blood out of your pillowcases. Take a bottle of hydrogen peroxide, put a drop on the blood. I don't care how old it is. I don't care how set in it is. Take a hot iron, go over it. You'll watch it disappear right in front of your eyes. So, blood out of your linens, hot iron, hydrogen peroxide. Go to town. All right. I will see you next time. Remember, give me that Tidbit tray, pens, and there's a special email address. This email address is for the pen giveaways only. No other purpose. No other emails will be either accepted, read, responded to. Pen giveaway only. Okay? So, if you want a pen, go into the notes below the video. Let me know. Just write to that email address. If you want the Tidbit tray, let me know. Just say, give me that Tidbit tray. And if you've got an interesting, unusual, quick, easy, whatever cleaning hack, write it in the comments. And we'll share it with everybody on a video. Okay, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.